Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video. Today we've got a look at the Toppo Unison expansion set, little pack that we get with the new Toppo leader and also the Vegeta Unison card. These have some like really cool synergies, and I'm just gonna jump on into it. This deck is definitely more kind of experimental, and I think there's definitely some changes that could be made based on your own testing and everything, but I'll kind of go through like the general engine and then the cards that I picked for the first go, and then also some additional cards on the side there. So we've got Toppo. When this card attacks, draw one. It's pretty simple. It doesn't have to be a leader, which is nice, just anything. And then Awaken, when your life is at 4 or less, or you have a yellow Unison card with a specific cost of 2 in play. You choose up to 2 of your energy, switch to active mode. Then choose cards in your life, add them to your hand until you have 6 life, and then flip this card over. So you're able to pretty much awaken this on turn 2 if you want to, but also it means that you can't awaken before 8 life, or like you have to have at least 6 or less cards in your life when you awaken, which I think is nice. It kind of has like some self-awakening part of that. I think that's really helpful, more helpful than hurtful, because you get some card advantage. Like if you're playing against an opponent that's not attacking you, when you awaken, you're technically an untap 2, draw 2, which is nice. So there's that, and then on the awaken side, the super cool effect. So it still has the when you attack, draw 1, but permanent. If you have a yellow Unison card in play with a specific cost of 2 in play, when a player plays a battle card, that player can't play battle cards for the turn. Very, very oppressive effect. It's kind of like a flying nimbus for playing battle cards, which is cool. And it's not very difficult to have this Vegeta out, obviously, and also it just really restricts what your opponent can do. And since it's based on your own state, if for some reason you need to get rid of your Vegeta and then you can play a bunch of things, you can do that, which is super neat. But so it restricts both you and your opponent, so which can be a little bit hurtful for you, but I think it's going to be way more hurtful for your opponent. So there's that. One quick ruling thing too. So with Abuni, which I think is a really popular card right now, a lot of people are playing it. The tokens can't be played because they're played after Obuni is, and even though they're tokens, they're still considered battle cards. So if you have the Vegeta and Toppo out at the same time, you're able to just use. They're only playing Abuni, which is just terrible for 4 energy. They get maybe the untap, but they don't get any of the tokens, and then it can be KO'd and everything. So that's a neat interaction. I think it counters a lot of things that people are doing anyway. So that's really cool. Going over the Vegeta real quick. Active main, once per turn you can choose this card or one of your battle cards and switch to rest mode and add a marker to this card, which is cool that you can add a marker and then also use like another ability. Of course it's like a negative ability, but we're gonna I think there's some like niche ways you can use this for your benefit. And for -1, your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy until the end of their next turn. So that's super nice, and it is a little bit reactionary, but it's also very defensive. And if they're only able to play 1 card per turn and make it count, it has to be something on their curve as well. So I think that's a really nice kind of boon there. And then also it has this -3. You can choose up to one of your opponent's energy, switch to rest mode. Then this card gets plus 5k power, double strike, and dual attack. The other thing about this is that this Vegeta, it's very easy for you to remove it yourself without using any energy. So if you want to storm the board with your own things on a turn without having without being restricted to your once per turn ability, you can blow up your Vegeta on your turn and then get as many summons as you can afford and everything. So I think that's really neat and like an afterthought that not a lot of people see, but that's a really good thing and can help out this deck. But also, like, even if it just you use the -3 and you had 4 tokens on it, double strike dual attack, a 20k double strike dual attack is not anything to scoff at, and you also get to rest 1 of their energy. I think that's a really good ability. So the third card for this deck that I'm going to go over is this Bojack, Agent of Destruction. This is like strictly the only like the thing I was thinking about when I built this deck. So turn 1, you charge blue-yellow energy. Turn 2, you play this Vegeta. You don't awaken immediately. You just play this Vegeta. And I don't think you use the -1. You probably put it to rest to get the 1. But there's that. And then after that, on turn 3, you play this Bojack. switch them to the rest mode, which is nice. And then if it survives, and assuming they don't have like a counterplay to get rid of it, what you do after that is you awaken, untap 2, and then you use Vegeta's ability to put this Bojack into rest mode without having to attack. And then also you use 2 energy to just choose your opponent's leader, switch to rest mode. If it's not in rest mode already, you still get the lock that it can't be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's very powerful on top of not like if they can only summon 1 battle card per turn and you lock their leader out from attacking, that's a super big boon. And I think that can be really oppressive if it goes off. So you do have to tap out on turn 3, and you have to have 2 specific cards. But I think that could be something that's pretty viable coming forward. So that's like the entire reason I wanted to build that deck. I know this Bojack exists. The fact that you can do this effect without having to enter like a battle step 2, because you can you don't get the attack with your Toppo, which kind of sucks. You lose like 1 card advantage there, but just being able to lock out your opponent, and then they can't use like a rival to get rid of it or something. They have to do that on their turn, but they can't if they don't have any battle cards left, then they can only play 1 per turn, and then which means they can't rival something out at the same. Like it just is very oppressive, I think. So that's the big idea with that. And let's just go through the rest of the cards now. So another big hitter I think is this Bergamo Ferocious Roar. Is insane. Using 2 energy. When one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, play this card from your hand, so you play it for 2 energy. And then if our leader is yellow, which it is, when you play this card, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and or energy, ignoring Barrier and switch to rest mode. So just going 2 for 2 with your opponent is nice. Getting a 20k out for 2, and then also just having stuff to play on your opponent's turn is really important for this deck. And having cards that don't need Bergamo can be played not during a battle step, which is nice. And then the other card we have is Bojack. He's really good for he just pairs up super good with Zamasu. You use Zamasu to rest something, and Zamasu also has super good synergy with Bergamo as well. But you use Zamasu, you stop one of their swings, even if their leaders or not really stop, but you prevent them from you rest one of their cards that could have attacked that turn, right? So use Zamasu for that. And then you can use Bergamo to come out for free, and then you can tap down 2 of their energy. Now they're tapped out, which means they probably can't play something on your turn while you're playing stuff as well. So I think these are just very oppressive in general, and paired up with this. And then Bojack is great because he can, if you use Zamasu Bojack for 1 energy and 2 cards, you potentially stop 3-4 swings. So let's say combo with Zamasu, that's 1 swing. Zamasu rests something, that's 2 swings. Bojack rests something, that's 3 swings. And then Bojack also has blockers. So that's potentially 4 swings you can stop, which is just crazy. So I think these are just really good combo cards and everything like that. Moving forward, some other cards we can play on our opponent's turn is Ultra Instinct Son Goku and also Hit Deadly Vanguard. I didn't know which one was better. Goku is more expensive, but he hits everything, and you also get a little bit of card advantage. Hit, on the other hand, if the it stops less, but it stops 2 of your, it can prevent 2 of your opponent's cards, and also it only costs 3. So that's the little benefit, cost benefit for this. I think both are okay. I just went 2 and 2. Hit's probably the one I would, if I was to pick one to go 4 of, I'd probably choose this Hit. But I think Goku has its reasonings too. But just being able to stop, once again, 2 cards on your opponent's turn, and being able to play this for 3 as your 1 per turn, I think is really helpful, and just further prevents them from playing multiple things. Next up, we've got okay, I guess we'll just go to the win condition. So we got Hit and Cold Blood. The hardest thing about this deck was finding a win condition, because as you can tell, we really don't do anything, right? We just slowly play 1 to 2, 1 card on our turn usually, and then sometimes on our opponent's turn. We just slowly build a board while preventing them from really doing anything. So I felt like Hit and Cold Blood was at least the coolest card to do this for. It shouldn't be very hard for you to get 3 cards on the so it goes down to a 4-drop if you have 3 blue or yellow cards, which should be pretty easy. So Bojack's 1, and then let's say you have this other Bojack, and then you had a Hit or something, or you had a Bergamo or something. This all makes sense, super easy, and there we go. And most the other ideas I had like Path to Greatness or anything like that. That would kind of involve playing multiple cards in one turn, so it didn't really work out. I really wanted to put Frieza Improved Universe 7 in this deck. I thought that could just be like the the ultimate win condition, but it'd just be kind of clunky to have, either pay this for 7 outright or pay a 5-drop or the 4-drop red card, or the 4-drop red Frieza, and then wait a turn and then play it again. I think it just makes more sense to have this card, but there's some other ideas too, like Fu Shrouded Mystery, and if you really want to go hard in like the Universe 11 package, either of the Jirens, including like this, I don't think we're gonna have a hand size small enough to really take care of this Jiren army of one, but I think that was an idea as well. But yeah, I went with it. I think it's cool and it can really just stun your opponent even harder. And then also Power Patara. I think this is a great card too. It's definitely a win more, and I don't think it's needed in this deck. If you really want to be mean, you could probably run Black Smoke Dragon as well. There's probably some other good choices for this, but I just decided to put one of him in. All right, everything else kind of utility cards. Dispo. This card's great. You just get a free crit, and it just, you can play this for free. And if you like, the dream hand is to have blue yellow, this Vegeta, this Dispo, and this Bojack in hand, and that way when you play Vegeta, you can just play him for 2, and then you get this Dispo for free, so you get a little bit of pressure, and then you can just rest him, and then use your -1 or something like that. So that's there. Great up Son Goku because we play yellow and we're not dumb. All right. The other big card about this deck is this Dispo Sonic Subversion. So it has this auto: return this card to its owner's hand, then choose one card in your life and add it to your hand, which is really our only Self-Awakening. I was thinking about adding Time Magic to this, but I didn't think it was going to be too good, so I didn't. But it definitely should be probably something on the side. But anyways, you choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. When your opponent plays a battle card with an energy cost greater than their current energy, choose that card and return it to its owner's hand. So pretty much if you have this Dispo out, and then with also Toppo, your leader activated, you pretty much prevent them from playing anything higher than their current energy, which pretty much, like, if they try to, they get their auto off, but then it just goes right back into their hand, and then they can't play battle cards for the rest of the turn. So I think this can be very powerful, in conjunction with everything. And it also has this: when this card is removed from your battle area by opponent's skill, you KO'd, you draw one. So even if they try to invest alternative ways to get rid of this, they still have to. You still get card advantage for it too. So I think this is a really safe card. If you're on turn 4, you don't want to invest all your energy in, you can use this Dispo, for 2 and then go for there. So I think this is a good card, and I really like it. Last couple cards, we've got Coquette. I can never pronounce it. This is C-Zone. Negate the attack, then if your leader card is Universe 11, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch to rest mode. So this is really handy for just triggering Bergamo. So you use this, they use a leader swing, you use this for 1 energy, and then you use 2 more energy to get Bergamo out, and then you rest 2 of their energy, and then it feels good. So I think this is a good card. And then also Giant Ball. If you want Crusher Ball, that's fine too. Giant Ball gets around barrier, or doesn't get around barrier, but Crusher Ball does. But this lets you draw 1, so neither of them get around deflect. But I felt like the draw one is a little bit more important, so I added that one. And then Casserole. When you play this card, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to one Unison card with this best. So you get this Vegeta or a Universe 11 with energy cost 4 or less. Unfortunately, you can't get this Dispo. It would have been super good if you could have. So you pretty much can get itself, the Union card, or the 2-drop Dispo. I just put 2 of them in. If you find something else that's better, go for it. But I just thought he was kind of neat and helped us find our Union card. I think that's it. Beerus, because we want free energy. I think that's really it. Going into the sideboard, some additional cards to think about. Spirit Fist, this card's cool. So it's either counterplay, so it's like Giant Ball without the card draw, but also active battle. If your leader card is Universe 11 and it's your turn, you can choose one of your leader cards or yellow Unison cards. It gets with specified energy cost of 2. It gets plus 10k power for the turn. If this was on either player's turn, I would have put it in for sure, but the active battle being only on your turn kind of sucks, so I didn't think it was worth it. Final Flash, this could be super handy because pretty much all of our energy should be yellow. and just being able to prevent like a double strike or a triple strike or a crit, or just the economy of using one energy to get over 15 is super nice. So there is that. I already talked about Crusher Ball. I thought about this card as well. This is like the alternative free land, but I just felt Beerus was better. Frostedly Poison. This is definitely something that should go in your side deck. Being able to just stop your opponent and everything, I think is very good. So there's that. Vegeta Energy Salvo. This was a neat card, and if they're trying to get rid of one of your cards by swinging into it, this could get around it, but I didn't think it was necessary. Chompa the Trickster, definitely a good contender as well, being able to just rest things, and then like if you have 4 energy up, you can use Chompa, and then you can use Bergamo afterwards and just like rest extra things. So this could definitely find its way into the main as well, but I didn't think it was super necessary. I mean, like it's kind of like a better giant ball. The only thing about it is that it costs 1 more energy, and then also it's your only thing you can play that turn. But we're not generally running 2. I don't know. If you don't like giant ball, just play Champa. Bardock, because we're yellow. I didn't think it was super necessary, but it also rests things. So if you like this Bardock, go for it. I already talked about Frieza, and I think everything else. So the only other card that I'm thinking about that I didn't talk about is the I think it's Future Gohan. It's blue. This one, Undying Spirit, and on the main. There it is. All right, I think he's good, just because you're able to you're able, if in early games, if they try to play something like small to get around you, you just play this instead, and then you bounce it back, and then you have a card out, and then they can't play anything else for the rest of the turn. So if you like that idea, and if you think like the Ultra Instinct is too high, then I think this Undying Spirit is better. If you just don't like hit and but you still want like a cheap guy, I think Gohan can take care of that. So, and that's really it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I think this is definitely a good first try at it. If you're finding like you're needing something more, Champa probably should be in the main, but he's just not. I wanted to put Giant Ball in, so I did. But I think there's a lot of potential for this deck, and can really counter a lot of decks in the meta right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you all next time.